Smart automation, better business. Learn how to optimize your business with Solved.
Hey there, fellow automators. I'm Aaron from Solve.cloud, your source for all things Salesforce and AI, and today we're going to be taking a look at pricing. Pricing is where revenue deals either move fast or start stalling out. Reps end up waiting on approvals, or custom quotes are getting built by hand, and we start losing margin. In this video, I'm breaking down how Salesforce's Agentforce Revenue Management helps their team quote faster and protect those margins. Then I'll show you exactly how to build it in your org. Let's hop into it. All right, to start off, we're going to hit a high-level overview of everything that goes into the Agentforce Revenue Management pricing model. There are four key components that we're going to be looking at: products, price books, price adjustment schedules, and pricing procedures. And it might take a little bit to remember each of these and the differences between them. We're seeing a lot of P's and a lot of price throughout that. The first thing that we're going to look at, and it's the easiest to conceptually grasp, is a product. So a product is just any object that we would want to sell, or maybe a service. So in this case, it might be a blue office pen. Like we're mentioning here, we can sell it as a subscription, we can sell it as a one-time item, we can sell it as a service, and we can add different attributes and different configurations. Our next key pillar of pricing in Agentforce Revenue Management is price books. So if we stick with our blue office pen example, we might give it a base price of 25 cents. We just have a list of all of the different base prices of products. Once we set up a price book, we're not always going to be selling everything at exactly its base price. So maybe we're setting a discount for buying 600 office pens, or maybe we have a laptop that if it has a specific attribute, we want a discount. These price adjustment schedules are where we're going to set up those rules of when to apply a discount or an uplift. Uplift is just the opposite of a discount. Our final step, once we've established the product, set a price for it, added any discounts or uplifts, is putting that whole process into a pricing procedure. Pricing procedure is really conceptually similar to a standard Salesforce flow. We just take our inputs of different prices, we have our calculations that are getting run by our pricing adjustments, and then it'll give us an output of the final net price of that good. This is just a quick overview of how those pieces fit together. Like we've been discussing, products go into products have price books, and then we have price adjustment schedules, and then finally we add that all into our procedure. Now that we cover the high level overview, we're going to hop into a demo. Okay, so now we're going to hop into our sandbox. We're going to want to make sure this is a sandbox with Agentforce Revenue Management set up. We can find documentation for how to do that on the Salesforce website. For our pricing demo today, we're going to look for price management. That will pull us to a screen. When you first open it up, it'll pull you to the home screen. And then we can hop into products. And for today's demo, we're going to be doing an office pen, very simple object. This first screen that comes up asks between a commercial and a technical product. So a commercial product is what you are selling to the customer themselves. So in our case, an office pen. A technical product might be shipping the office pen, or preparing the office pen, or any step that goes into ultimately sending the product out. We can click next, and then it'll take us to a screen to fill in information. For the sake of this demo, I'm just going to fill this in and cut to the next part. As you guys are filling this out on your own, you can fill it in with whatever product information works best for you. Okay, so now that we've got our product information in, there are a couple things we're going to want to check out before we go into price books. The first is we need a product selling model option. You can click new over here and it'll pull us to a setup screen. This is in our related list under product. And this just allows us to put in what type of subscription it is. So in our case, it's a one-time. You might have subscription-based, you might have an evergreen, whatever model you want to put in for your product. The second thing that we're going to want to double check is we can go into product, click price books, and we can add a standard price. And that's going to be really important. So we have a standard price book in Salesforce, and that is effectively the master price book. And we'll need it to be added there before we can add it to any other price books. In our case, we've already got that set up. So we have our standard price book entry here. Just clicking add standard price will take you right to that setup screen. Once we've done that, then we can hop into our new custom price book. So if we go to price books, we can click new, solved price book. We can add a description if we want to. We're going to want to make sure that it's turned to active. And these valid from and valid to settings are really useful. We could have a 2025 fiscal year price book and then a 2026 fiscal year price book, and it'll automatically switch between them on that date. A cost book has to do with our cost of goods sold, so we won't get into that here, but just so that you know that that feature exists. Then we can click save, and it'll make us a new price book. Then we can go to price book entries, click new, we'll add office pen, our favorite product, price book. We're going to go solved price book. This is the price book we're working in. And then we're going to want to make sure that our list price matches the standard price. That's a validation on Salesforce side, and we'll need that in order for this to work. Okay, so now that we've got our product set up and our price book, we're going to look at our price adjustment schedules. There are going to be some important caveats here, so you'll want to pay close attention for the next little bit. When we make a new price adjustment schedule, it's the parent object to price adjustment tiers. So as we're making this, we can give it the name that we want. So this might be bulk pens. In our case, this will be a volume discount for buying 200 pens. We're deliberetely not going to click active as we're setting this up. We can click effective date just like we normally would, and effective to. Going through this pretty quickly for the demo. Adjustment method is another important setting. That is the difference between, so we have range and slab. Range is, let's say I bought 30 pens. I then want a 10% discount on all of the pens. Slab, if I had a 10%, it would be 10% on all of the pens above the first 30. So the first 30 would still be full price, and then everything above that would be discounted. We'll want to make sure that we have the correct price book set. We're going to be using our solved price book for this demo. Our schedule type is going to be volume, and that looks pretty good. So now that we've got it set up, you'll see our price adjustment tiers, and this is that important relationship we're talking about. These are where we set the values of our different tiers. We said we'd be doing 200, so I'll set my upper bound to 200. An important caveat here, this borrows from the CS world. This is an exclusive number, so it's actually going up to 199.999. And once you hit that 200 threshold, you're in the next tier. So what I'm actually going to do is set 200 as the lower bound. The lower bound is inclusive. Price adjustment schedule, we'll do bulk pens, tier type, amount. Upper bound, for today's example, we'll just do one tier. You can do as many tiers as you'd like, and we'll just cap it at 1,000. Product, we'll obviously be using our office pen example. Tier value, we can set to 1 for now. There's some good stuff there to look into for further knowledge. We'll set our effective from date. An effective to date, we'll want to make sure that these are, again, valid date ranges. Otherwise, it'll get a little confused. And then product selling model. Since we're selling a pen, you usually don't subscribe to owning a pen, and so it'll be a one-time purchase. Now that we've got that set up, we can hop back into our price adjustment schedule. Now that it has price adjustment tier set up, and hopefully that shows up for us in just a little bit. And now we can click activate. We are now here at our final step of setting up a pricing procedure, and this will be the most complicated step. We can click on pricing procedure, and we're going to be starting a new one fresh. We can give it whatever name we'd like. Today we're going to call it solved pen pricing. API name will autofill. Usage type, pricing. Context definition, we're going to do sales transaction context. For a further explanation about context definitions, feel free to check out additional content by us here at Solved. And then we can click save, and it'll open us up a new pricing procedure. From here, we have pricing procedure versions. And this is one of the coolest parts about Agentforce Revenue Management. It will do version control for you of your different pricing procedures. So if someone makes a new pricing procedure and it ends up having a bug in it, or it doesn't quite get the prices right the way that you want them, you can always roll it back to a previous edition and it'll work. By default, it opens up a pricing procedure version 1, which we can click on and start editing. The first thing we'll want to add to our pricing procedure is pricing setting. So we can click this plus mark here, type in pricing setting. Oh, there we go. And it'll pull up with this blue icon. This is where we set our input variables and our output variables. For line item, we can just type in line item, select it right there. For output variables, we're definitely going to want to have our net unit price. We can click net unit price and then subtotal. This way, our pricing procedure knows what inputs it's looking for and what outputs it'll be giving back out. Okay, the next step for our pricing procedure will be to add a list price. This is going to be what pulls in the information from our price books. This can look a little complicated at first because once we've put in this lookup table, we'll get a whole bunch of different variables that we can fill in. We have input rule variables and output rule variables and input variables and output variables, and they're all different. Luckily for us, as we're just getting started, the names that we'll be putting in will match the name of the field itself. So we can just put product, scroll down, find product, price book, and we can fill each of these in. So I've gone in and filled these in on my end. For those of you who may be wondering what the difference is between input rule variable and an input variable is, the basic idea is that an input variable is the actual value that you're passing in. The input rule variable tells you where you're going to find that information. So if we're looking at these, we can see, where should I find my product information? On the product tab. Where should I find my price book information? In price books. Where should I find my product selling model? In the pricing selling model. And then once we look at the actual input variable itself, that might be a specific field we're looking at. So we have the line item quantity, or we have the list price field. This way it knows both where to look and what value it should be pulling. Now that we've set up our pricing setting and list price, we have a lot of different options for where we could go from here. For the sake of today's tutorial and brevity, we'll be cutting our demo here, but a next step that a lot of people would take would be to apply their tier discount or a volume discount, formula-based pricing to start writing calculations based on this initial information that we've provided to our pricing procedure. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope that you've learned a lot today from this video. We've talked about products, price books, price adjustment schedules, pricing procedures, and had a quick overview of how to interact with all these different systems. For more content just like this, going a little bit more in depth into each of these functionalities, be sure to like and subscribe here at our YouTube channel, solve.cloud. Thanks!
Thank you so much for watching. We can't wait to help you automate your business. Please like, comment, or subscribe for more.